bunch of wonders. And the living beings make it so beautiful. Yes. Long, long ago, say about 4 billion years ago, life began. And now, we have about 10 to 20 millions of these creatures that move and live on this planet. And the amazing thing is that many have yet not been identified. Think about the benthic life of the sea. Yes, those that have been are grouped into kingdoms. And 6 of them. And all the 6 have been squeezed into 3 domains. Oh, so why not peep into them? The first one happens to be, and you can see the Archaea. The name is Archaea because they must have come in the conditions where there are winds on the sea or where no other creature can survive. Very high temperature, rich in methane. Oh, you mean they were the first persons to come on this earth? Exactly, because at that time earth was primitive, having abundance of methane instead of oxygen. It was reducing kind of environment. So welcome Mr. Archaea. And then comes the exclusively prokaryotic group, the bacteria. The bacteria, named Monera. And how were they different from Archaea? Archaea are exceptionally different in their plasma membrane. They have some branched fatty acid with isoprene unit, which we do not find in any other group amongst our living creatures. So they were heterotrophic, and in fact they didn't have any nuclear membrane. And that's why we call them prokaryotes. Wow. The next thing. Well, this term was coined by Ernst Haeckel, Protista, and it is the most diverse group, obviously. Also called Protista. Exactly. And it includes the organisms which are not 100% animals, so we call them protozoa. Not 100% plant, so we call them algae. You mean in between? In between. And the third one, some creatures looking like fungi, but exactly they are not group of fungi, so slime molds. So sometimes the scientists, they call it dustbin. So you group all the animals, they don't look like plants, not like fungi, not like animals, put them here. Exactly. So exceptional animals, exceptional plants, and exceptional fungi-like organisms. Here comes fungi. And this is another very interesting group. Every food chain on earth is depending upon them. Because they are saprophytic. Exactly. Or parasitic. Exactly. They decompose. The amazing thing is that they are the only ones which have saprophytic nutrition. So they degrade any dead material so as to provide the nutrients to other living creatures. So they bring back all the nutrients to the soil. Exactly. So every living organism have to depend upon them in their food chain. And how do you get it back from the soil? By the next kingdom, members of the next kingdom? Exactly. On which the animals are depending. The plants. The plants. Oh. And how is sun important to them? Well, that is providing the light energy for the plant to photosynthesize and collect the food for rest of the organism to survive. So we depend on them. Exactly. But they do also depend upon them because the raw material for the photosynthesis is carbon dioxide, and that comes from this beautiful group, kingdom Animalia. And they move. That is something very different, that the animal is the only group which move. But they cannot make their own food, so they have to depend on plants. It's a beautiful, in fact, a network. Plants have to depend upon us, and we have to depend upon them. How do we depend on them? That is, in terms of food, right? Not in terms of food only. What about oxygen? How we will breathe without them? So they also depend on us. Of course. How will they photosynthesize if we don't release carbon dioxide? So it's a beautiful network. So carbon dioxide is good for them. That is a raw material for photosynthesis. Oxygen is good for us. Exactly. $1 million question. That is all for you to understand.